Thanks, Tyler, and thank you for tuning in to the Amherst Weekly Report.
Hello and welcome to the Amherst Weekly Report Summer Special Edition. I am Karan Chaudhary, the news coordinator and your very own news anchor at Amherst Media. The crew and I went on field to capture stories throughout the summer. From town plans, mobile markets, housing shortages, music festivals, community responders, and more. We captured Amherst on camera for you and are here to bring the news to you. Community Responders for Equity, Safety and Security, which is also known as CRESS, is the town's new department that will provide an alternative to police, with 8 unarmed employees who would operate in pairs. On March 8, 2022, Earl Miller was sworn in as the director of CRESS at the Banks Community Center in Amherst. He was a former regional director of recovery for the Massachusetts Department of Mental Health. He is currently implementing a 2-month-long training program for the staff that will include de-escalation and mediation, first aid and CPR, as well as equity awareness and social justice.
I feel for anybody who doesn't feel safe where they are. This department will always stand in solidarity with folks who feel unseen. That's what we exist for. In the larger picture, what I see is this fear and mistrust, and I hope that we'll be a part of addressing that, not just with us, but helping folks to trust the town more. I mean, we're unarmed, and I think for some people that carries really different connotations. I think it allows us to be in places where having a weapon just doesn't make sense.
The importance of CRESS was made apparent by an incident which took place on July 5th, when 2 officers responded to a noise complaint at 12:32 a.m. at 683 Main Street in Amherst. The officers identified 9 youths, with 3 who identified as BIPOCs, Black Indigenous People of Color. All are aged below 18, and that is why the police require their IDs due to Mass Criminal Law, which states that teenagers below 18 cannot operate a vehicle after 12 midnight. It was nearly an hour-long interaction, and a 54-second video of this interaction surfaced on social media. The following is the video.
Dude, I don't even hear that you have your rights. Because right now, as a juvenile, you don't have rights at this point. You've lost it.
Why do I not have
all right? You've lost it. You're not an adult. You got an ID?
Why do I?
You have an ID?
No, if I ask you why.
Do you have a school ID? School ID works. You got school ID?
Only guy do have an ID.
You
don't get to make a call right now because you said so, because you're detained.
Why
You
am
can't
I
be out
being
right
Can you
now.
repeat that again? You said we don't
Why
have
am I
rights.
being
No,
detained?
poor phrasing.
Why am I? No,
All right.
no, but why am I being detained?
Dude, we've
We're
already
talking
told
to you
you.
about the noise, and you wouldn't ID yourself. So
Dude,
now
dude, you're 16 years old.
Okay.
I have
Listen,
a flat
you're
tire.
not- guys,
I'm waiting for
hey,
AAA to come
listen to me.
and help me with my
Do you want to
flat
know?
tire.
I think part of it is this video. It would be very easy for me to second guess other folks' work. But the reality is my folks are still in training. I'm not able to deploy them. And so it would be egotistical of me to assume that if my folks were anywhere that they would have done anything, because I don't know yet. And I want to really make sure that this community deserves more than me making guesses at what I would have done. These sort of non-criminal, non-violent situations that sometimes the PD showing up can escalate things. Does that mean that the police are bad? I don't think so. I think it's important to remember that they exist in a construct too, and it's hard for them, I think, to absorb that we're seeing these misconduct things all around the country, and that doesn't speak to Amherst. But as a person of color walking around, it absolutely carries an impact in the way that I perceive anybody who shows up.
An initial report presented by Pamela Nolan Young, the town's Director of Diversity, Equity and Inclusion, on August 15 said, quote, that no citations, summons, or arrests were made. No physical force was used. No parties reported physical injuries. No property damage was reported. No profanity was used, end quote. The report's conclusion that there was no abuse of power by the police officers involved resulted in voiced community concerns, including the members of the Community Safety and Social Justice Committee.
We used the video in training, we reviewed it, we reviewed lots of videos in training, and we talked about what we might do differently and what might not look that different.
There were a lot of concerns in the public and the community about more and more calls that are not specifically geared towards the police profession that have really been kind of dumped on the police. Their initial calls that they're going to be really focusing on are going to be issues of responses to mental health, people in crisis, dealing with homelessness issues, and maybe one of the other areas of concern that we recognized through talks with the community was having armed police officers responding to the schools was not something that they wanted. So I think you're going to see CRESS really become involved in the schools.
We're working with the schools to try to make the schools a place that feels easier to live in. But I want to hear from youth in this community. We intentionally hired some responders who were young, who may understand that community better than I.
What we're hoping and what we anticipate with CRESS is they'll be able to deal more with more time and more involvement and more follow-up with individuals who are in crisis or in need, and they'll have the resources that we may not have.
Part of why I took this job is I think there's a better way to do this work, but ultimately to be human with people, to feel their pain, for them to feel seen and heard. Is there a way to do this work from a place of love that is effective? And you know, I don't have my hand on the scale. I guess we'll find out if that works, but I really do believe it will.
Year as we are comfortable responding with and or seeing how CRESS responds, we may be able to expand what the services are that the CRESS people can engage in.
Work is going to start on September 6th, so just watch us. And if you think we deserve more resources, we'd like them. And if you don't, that's also an important point to bring up. My email address is millere@amherstma.gov. Talk to me. My door is open.
And Earl Miller, I think he's going to do a fantastic job. But I think over time we'll find out this programs will be very worthwhile. And I look forward to working with them. And so just be patient and we'll get there.
Community is the answer, and so I think largely CRESS will be a bridge to the community and a little community in and of its own, one that I'm really proud of.
As I speak, this is a developing story. For more information about the reports of the incident are available on Amherst Media's YouTube channel. The first 4 hours of the August 15 Town Council meeting is an in-depth discussion about the findings of the reports, which features town manager, councillors, Police Chief Livingstone, DEI, CRESS, and many more. On September 6th, CRESS will be on call. The team will actively seek to ensure the pillars of public safety response are delivered. Anti-racist, equitable, just and fair. The multiracial teams of 2 will hit the streets and will be available around the clock, 7 days a week. These responders will look like you and I, but would have gone through months of training to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the community. To quote Earl Miller, director of CRESS, "We are building a plane as we fly it." This is Karan Chaudhary for Amherst Media, Amherst. We have Emily with the report on the Amherst Mobile Market. Let's take a look.
The Amherst Mobile Market moves fresh, locally sourced fruits and vegetables across town to promote food security and healthy eating. Almost all Amherst residents live in a food desert, areas with a large percentage of low-income households, limited access to fresh produce, and insufficient transportation to grocery stores. So mobile market partners like the nutrition and wellness nonprofit Healthy Hampshire brought the produce to the people.
Many of them didn't know that the community members spend at least 2 or 3 hours to go to the market and come back, taking 2 buses to their homes, and when finally they return from the store, they have to they were exhausted to do more things.
The market began back in 2017 when Healthy Hampshire conducted a food justice assessment in Amherst. The survey communicated problems with local transportation, food distribution, and produce prices. Residents supported the idea of a moving market as a solution. In 2019, insurance company Blue Cross Blue Shield awarded a grant for a pilot market, and the next summer, the Amherst Mobile Market successfully sold 5,000 produce items within 12 weeks.
We like that it's local. The food is nice and fresh. It's better prices. It's just an all-around good thing.
The market has 4 locations around Amherst and accepts payment through Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, Healthy Incentives Program, Pandemic EBT, or Senior Farmers Market Nutrition Program coupons. There is both an open market and community-supported agriculture shares at different price points. Households without access to government-subsidized food programs qualify for free CSA shares. This variety of payment options allows the mobile market to aid communities most afflicted by food insecurity.
And so, we really try to focus, and that's what the market tries to do, is really try to focus on these specific neighborhoods and areas and populations and communities that are really disproportionately experiencing these health challenges, because this is a systemic issue, right? It's really the system, the way that we have things set up and built, the environments around us, that gets to decide whether people live or die, how long they live, how soon they live, what they die of, and we want to change that.
According to the 2017 Massachusetts State Health Assessment, communities of color face more heart failure, stroke hospitalization, and diabetes-related deaths than white communities. The Amherst Mobile Market serves and employs people of color and non-English speakers to not only decrease the risk of disease within these communities, but to foster a connection to the Amherst community as a whole.
And other members of the community also is looking the staff there that they speak Spanish, and some of them only speak Spanish and they are learning English, but they are working there. They have a space there, they have a voice there, and other people, all other members of the community like that the language will not a barrier at the mobile market.
This particular market, the people are lovely. We talk about recipes. They taught me how to make plantains. So there's an extra benefit to this, and the cultural element is a real plus, actually.
But the Amherst Mobile Market wants to stretch beyond communities of color and low-income communities.
One of the things we've really been trying to emphasize and hit home this year is you do not have to be by any means low income to shop at the market. There is not anybody can shop at the market. Anybody who goes to a farmer's market or a grocery store, anybody who needs vegetables can shop at the market. We really want folks to know that shopping at the Amherst Mobile Market supports the Amherst Mobile Market.
For more information on the times, dates, and locations of the Amherst Mobile Market, check out their website. I'm Emily Klein for Amherst Media, Amherst.
The nightlife is back in Amherst for the summer. Here's a look at Jazz in July, featuring some outdoor events. Hello, I'm Karan Chaudhary, and today we're at Amherst Commons. We're here for this edition of Jazz in July, with the best of UMass faculty is come together to bring forth this sense of a jazz festival. Actually, scrap that. It is a jazz festival right now. Tell us a little more about the event.
Yeah, so this is our second year as this sort of machination, and now we have beer, wine, and hard cider. We've got some creme brulee. It's all about the music, though, and it's about getting people together. It's about getting our community out, all ages, as you can see, which is really fantastic. And tonight we have UMass's Jazz in July, so it's the culmination of a week of incredible jazz on campus. And they come here and they give us their best and their all-star performances. And we do this for 4 Fridays every summer, the last 2 of July and the first 2 of August.
While this event might be coming to a close soon, it is a new beginning for this town. Expect more magical events such as this coming to your doorstep. Expect an open-air amphitheater soon, which will bring forth more spectacular, amazing musical events from all genres coming right at your doorstep in Amherst. This is Karan Chaudhary for Amherst Media, Amherst. And here's an update on construction at UMass.
Construction progresses at UMass Amherst on the new Newman Catholic Center on Thatcher Road and student housing along Massachusetts Ave while students are away for the summer. Catholic Communications reported that construction on Newman Center's $9 million building began in June 2021. The new 19,000 square foot building will comprise of a chapel, a cafe, a research center with study rooms, lounges and offices, conference rooms, outdoor dining spaces, and a garden. The Newman Center leased the acre of land on Thatcher Road from UMass for $2 million for the next 99 years. According to Mass Live, construction will finish in September. UMass bought the old Newman Catholic Center building from the Roman Catholic Diocese of Springfield in August 2020. According to the Daily Hampshire Gazette, UMass purchased the 58,000 square foot building for $2.5 million due to its prime location along North Pleasant Street. The university currently rents the building out to the Newman Center during the new location's construction. In addition to the construction on Thatcher Road, UMass construction of 800 new apartment-style student housing continues towards its fall 2023 deadline. According to the press release from March 2021, the project includes 600 undergraduate beds and 200 graduate spaces. UMass is also repurposing the empty North Village apartments into 120 new family homes. This is UMass's first public-private partnership on a construction project. UMass works with Belfer Betty Campus Solutions and Axiom Infrastructure to finance and head the project. Suffolk Construction develops and builds the project, while architect Demilla Schaffer designs the new buildings. Western Mass News reports that the project recently began pedestrian safety improvements as a result of the student who was hit by a car and killed on Mass Ave in February. UMass Amherst adds raised crosswalks, textured pavement inlay, and curb cuts to create a pedestrian-friendly environment. The project will also install updated signage, pedestrian beacons, and reflective paint lines. I'm Emily Klein for Amherst Media, Amherst.
Let's take a look back at the memorial service at Boltwood Inn. Hello, I'm Karan Chaudhary, and today we are gathered here on Boltwood. We're here to mourn the loss of Winston, the first of his kind comfort dog at the Amherst Police Department. This event aims to celebrate his life, the joy and the love that he brought down for the community, and the barriers that he broke for the department and the community as a whole. Winston was a true star of Western Massachusetts at hospitals and events.
Detail, ready, up!
I'm Bill Laramie, I'm Winston's handler. You know, he was a very special part of the community, our department, and my family. He had so many good qualities in terms of what he brought to both his job and to, his off time. I think some of our best memories were, connections we made with students, particularly college students. I deal a lot with them, and, sometimes the relationship between officers and students can be contentious, and he immediately broke down those barriers for us. People would comment on how quickly he and I were able to gain the trust of particularly audiences. So that was really rewarding.
So what can I say about Winston? He was a pup that brightened up everyone's day instantly. 2 years ago, Bill Laramie brought the idea of a comfort dog to the department. The chief's initial reaction was believing that Bill just wanted to get a free dog. Winston's popularity was far-reaching. He made regular trips to UMass, Amherst College, surrounding schools, hospitals, and any event that he was welcome to throughout Western Mass. Coupled with social media, Winston was able to connect with segments of society that we would always dream of getting to know better. He also brought very positive recognition to the Amherst Police Department and the town of Amherst. With Winston's sudden and shocking passing, the department quickly fell into a depression. When we learned about Winston's condition, there wasn't a dry eye in the department.
It's very sad that Winston passed away. I mean, he meant a lot to the community. We were very fortunate to have him in the time that we did. I credit Chief Scott Livingston and Bill Laramie for bringing him to the community. There's not one specific memory that I have. There were just so many things, watching him grow from a puppy into a dog over the past 2 years and how he interacted with everyone in the department and the community. I mean, it was just a great thing. Something we never expected, something there was no blueprint for or map for, but he's going to be missed. And this ceremony today was obviously to honor him and his memory, and we hope that stays with Amherst in general.
The Bible would teach that public servants in God's sight are ministers, that they minister to the community, that they serve and that they minister. And certainly Winston had a way to do that. You hear a bark, I hear amen. So I'm just saying. He's telling me to keep going. I don't understand completely and know totally if dogs can love. But man, they are lovable. And they evoke love. And in that, we honor Winston today because of evoking that in us.
As we know, his run on the earth was cut far too short. He had a lot of good years left in him and work to do. So, but we're going to move the program on with a new companion. I think he'll do just as good.
The truth is, we miss him a lot. The days were sometimes long and challenging, but we know the program has much value to our department and community. To recognize Winston's legacy, we are honored and excited to accept Moonfield's offer of being gifted another pup. He will be continuing this work immediately. He will be named Augie.
And so to that end, I say thank you for being here today to regard the life of Winston.
Winston's heartwarming presence will truly be missed through the community, schools, hospitals, and everywhere where he graced his presence. But he shall forever be etched into our hearts. This is Karan Chaudhary, Amherst Media, Amherst. Let's hear it from our correspondent, Manar, who is at Amherst Media.
This is Manar Hashmi reporting from 101 University Drive. Amherst Media has moved to a temporary location at 101 University Drive in Amherst. We have left our home of decades and a historic building on College Street. We have left that building, but we are taking our culture with us. Now hear from the staff themselves.
Hi, my name is Yana. I'm the new programming director at Amherst Media.
Hi, I'm Alexis Reed. I am the director of production here at Amherst Media.
Hello, I'm Jim Lesko, the executive director of Amherst Media. As you've heard, we've been in the Amherst region for 46 years, serving everybody that we can, anyone that needed help, covering the government for transparency, taking on social issues, and letting anyone have a voice. The free speech movement is alive and well still at Amherst Media, which was the originator's plan from the beginning.
The move to this new space was definitely challenging, I'm not going to lie. There were many possessions that we had to bring over to 101 University Drive.
It's been a big challenge, moving so many years of history, really, Amherst history, from one place to the next, and really being able to find a space that would be able to accommodate all of our needs in order to successfully and efficiently provide the community with all the resources that we've been providing the community. So it definitely was a challenge, but it was great to be able to really use the resources that we had with our interns and with our community members that chipped in and helped us to be able to accomplish this really big task.
The movie was very difficult, and I have to give Yana and Alexis so much credit, along with the interns that pulled it together. And it was so much material to bring over here, so much physical labor. We should be very proud that the fact that we were able to turn that around in such a short period of time. We did try to get a temporary location with the town, but that didn't work out. There's vacant properties that were not made available to us. So here we are at 101 University Drive. We're in half the square footage we had before, but it's a lot of things that you can still use. What we don't have is a studio, and we're determined to get something up and running somewhere, maybe somewhere else off this property.
So I started this position as Director of Programming about 3 to 4 months ago. And I actually grew up in Amherst, and I went through the public school system. So it's awesome to have a position at Amherst Media where I can continue to make an impact in the community. So I have a Cambodian background, and I'm hoping to put more Southeast Asian content on the programs, and just to diversify the content so the viewers have more options.
It's been great to be able to come back and to be able to continue to provide all of those services like our channels, to be able to bring those back for everybody, because I know that they've been missing it for a long time, and we've been missing being able to be up and show everybody what's been going on in town. So we're really excited to be back, to be able to bring all these great programs and share with everybody all of these great events that are happening around town, and being able to provide coverage for that to make people feel included in that.
So this new space at 101 University Drive is nice and compact. It actually has pretty much everything you need in just a short walking distance from each other.
We do have a dedicated podcast station that's a little bit even more revamped than the one that we had at the old place. We don't have a dedicated studio space anymore, but that doesn't mean that we won't still be providing the same sort of coverage, news programs like the Amherst Weekly Report, as well as being able to have just regular desk programs. So it's definitely been testing our flexibility in making this move, but we think that we're able to accomplish all of the things that we've been able to do before. Our podcast station looks really great. It sounds really great. We're planning on having 6 editing stations, which is 2 more than we had at our old space. We have a brand new conference room that is really beautiful and has a lot of nice natural lighting. And the space has really been set up to best accommodate workshops and learning and trainings, so that interns and community members can come in here, they can sit down, they can come in at their favorite station and just get to work and do what they need to do. It's been a creative challenge, but we're excited to open our doors and let everybody take advantage of the resources that we have available to them. If you're interested in getting involved as a community member, we welcome you to join as a member on our website or in person. And if you are a student here, whether that be a high school student or a college student, one of the 5 college students, or any of the colleges, honestly, we welcome you to apply as an intern. Just visit our website, amherstmedia.org/internships, and you can see all the different internships and the different duties and different fun things that we get involved with over here.
101 University Drive is up and running again, and we can't wait to start a new chapter here and to create new content for the community.
Remember that we are still here for you. We believe in this. We believe in free speech. We promote everyone's opportunity to have their say. So please support us, stay with us, and you're going to see us grow into that new building very soon.
While we are in a temporary location and we do not have a studio, we still have our cameras, our editing software, and our passion. The news doesn't stop, so why should we? I'm Minar Hashmi, Amherst Media, Amherst.
That is all for this summer special edition. We look forward to reporting more news to you. We are currently taking interns for the upcoming fall semester. We have roles for every interest within the journalism realm. For more information, please visit our website, amherstmedia.org. This is Karan Chaudhary for the Summer Special Edition, Amherst Media, Amherst.